Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Okay, let's see, get this camera position right. So, everyone, I would first like to wish you a forward-thinking new year. Because believe me, I am not a traditionalist. And, happiness is found within. I just think it's another year. That's what I think it is. It's 2026 finally. And I'm wishing you all well. So where are we now? We're now in the 26th century. Again, how many times you've had Christmas celebration? I must admit we had a beautiful, beautiful Chunkano. That is the creme of the creme. It was the best of the best. I would like to extend a warm congratulations to one family, which I had predicted that they would win it again. It is what it is. It was very enjoyable watching that. I'd probably dance for at least 2 hours watching it. So that was a good thing. It was really a good thing. And as I sit here, I was sharing the live before I came on. I said, let me share some. And I ran across Mr. Lynx Jones' name. He had passed away tragically in a car accident, allegedly. And I think it was just yesterday we passed his post on the side of the road. And it still hits, it still bothers me how he passed away. Honestly, I don't think anyone should have died the way he did and the circumstances. And it's something we can never forget. We never want to forget Mr. Lynx Jones, ever. We will always remember him. And we will push even harder because of his untimely death. There's many who have died. But the circumstances under his death still been unanswered. If anybody could cause anyone bodily injuries the way that appeared, they do not have a soul. That's all I can say. I know politics is dirty, but let me tell you something. That was a targeted political issue under his circumstances. It means that we have some people in our society has no soul. No one should die like that. I don't care what political party you decide to support, no one should die. So I want to say this openly. I just want to thank him for all he's done, what he stood for, and we will continue to fight for our country, no matter what. We fear nothing, and we have nothing to fear. All right? So where am I today? I want to talk a little bit of something a bit lighter for right now because it's 2026. We have our candidates I want to speak about. We have the continuation on the natural land that I want to talk about with regards to 2030 vision that you can find on your COIs or the COIs website on your Facebook page. Because remember now, we do everything transparently and will always be that way because we have nothing to hide or we have nothing to shield, right? So we do have a wonderful plan for our country called the Bahamas because the present government have not, at least convincingly to me, have not proven that they really care about the Bahamas. All right? Land is important. It's important to its indigenous people. And they actually should be put first above anybody else after 53 years of independence in the Bahamas. I think we have enough investment. Yeah, we could still use more. But all these deals have to be transparently um, decided on now, because the populace, which we call ourselves Bahamians, are more educated, more informed, and yes, more willing to step forward after 53 years, because this is why we qualify our kids. Another reason why we send our kids to college, not so they could, so they could have many and better choices. And leadership is an individual thing. If you want to be a leader, fine. If you want to be a follower, fine. If you want bad treatment from someone, fine. That's your choice. No one's going to stop you from letting people step all over you on your goodness and your pleasant attitude and treat you indifferently. If that's what you want in the 21st century, listen, you're welcome to it. See, we live in the 21st century. We do not live in the 60s. We do not have to tolerate anybody of any nationality talking us down in our country. And we want to let them know that in a good way. When you come to us, step right. Because we're not our parents' generation. And we respect anyone, but you better respect the indigenous people of this country. Okay? Because those days are gone and they ain't never coming back. Never. Right? So, now that I got that out of my I have a lot I want to say really, but I really want to focus on something that's very important. I have a local announcement to make for 2026 with regards to Central Grand Bahama. Central Grand Bahama candidate Mr. Aram Lewis will be holding his annual event. I didn't know y'all didn't know about that. Y'all thought Christmas is over. You see, we in the COIs do it different. We ain't packing everything into Christmas, and then 2 days into Christmas, you're like, and it's still the weekend, and you're like, oh my goodness, what is it that I can do? I am so bored. Oh, Junkanoo was fabulous. Christmas was wonderful. Had all the turkey, the tree trimming, the parties. But then now, Mr. Aram Lewis will be celebrating his annual event. He is the candidate of the Coalition of Independents who is in the House of Assembly. He will be hosting his annual children's skating party. I want to go to that. I want to go to that. And I would personally love to take my grandkids. And I would probably be on every event. I would probably want my face paint. I would probably want to be a part of the games. I want all the food. I want to, what is that? Something about a gel ball. Do anybody know what a gel ball is? Because please tell me, because I ain't gonna try that. I want to try the gel ball. I want to do all of the games. Yes, I want to skate too. I won't mind doing that with my grandkids. I used to skate. These are all the fun activities that the annual event under the children's skating Christmas party that will be tomorrow. Yeah. Come on, man. Let's go up to Freeport and enjoy that. Take the kids. Let's have a great time. I want to have like a COI face painting on my face. I think I want it on both cheeks. I would definitely do that. Okay, so join the fun. Bring the family. It's Saturday, tomorrow, the 3rd, 2026. The time now is a limited time, so I want you to make sure I get this telephone number down. Or I can probably add it in there, but I'm going to say it first. 478-4938. That's 478-4938. You have to register. So I'm going to call my grandkids and register them because I want them to be there and I want to be there too. So call first at 478-4936 so you can register for this fun event. It's the annual Christmas children's annual skating Christmas party. I want to go. So register for that, okay? So I also want to recap. And if you have any questions about it, you can always inbox me. Just inbox me and I'll make sure you have that telephone number. just in case if you missed it, okay? So I want to recap some of the Vision 2030 visions according to the Coalition of Independence that once we are the government of the Bahamas, these are the things, and we need every community on all the islands to be involved with this. This is not just your regular governments or governance. This is a different way of governing where the Bahamians in all different communities can be actively involved. Now, how to do that? Well, you can go on our website where you can find this information, and you can actually sign online website because we want to govern with a difference. We want a government under the Coalition of Independence, which is the COI, where the community-minded Bahamians who love their country can actively be involved with the change for better. Go online, the Coalition of Independence. You can sign up right there. You don't have to wait until the general election. You can also become a member. You can also give a faith gift. You can also donate anonymously. Yeah, you can become a member. You can also share this live because you can be the next governing party under the Coalition of Independence where I'm not talking about just the candidates, you can actively participate in governing your country. Now just think about it. 6 months from now, it's still 2026. The Coalition of Independence won the election. And you are now coming to the table. No, you're not trying to call your MP. MP, we need money so we could, I don't know what you need the money for. Fix the road. Yeah, let's start with that. Could you let us get on with that? Okay, MP pick one contractor and the road still ain't fixed. Y'all don't have to go through any of this anymore. Apply online. Be a part of the change because you live in your community. Your MP may not be even living in your community anymore. Think about that. You're now stepping up to the level where you're going to be a part of government, not calling them on a phone that don't exist, not calling them in an office that they don't hear you, not writing a letter and they don't answer it, not going to Ruston Square to protest. You won't be doing that anymore. You will be actively involved in your community. Young people, this for y'all. This one is for y'all. Y'all gonna make history. I am so proud because I'm be working with young people who qualify, who are passionate, who want to see the change, who don't mind working hard, who are educated and want to come back. Y'all gonna be the ones to say y'all make history under the Coalition of Independence. No. No more promises. No more promises. They had 53 years. Now it's your turn. You step up to the plate. They ain't just wanting your voice, your concerns. You live in your neighborhood. You see the garbage. You see the pollution. You see the garbage everywhere. And you're trying to tell me the sanitation department that's now operating in your country can't take care of this minuscule, tiny issue. Listen, I ride down West End, right? Going to somewhere in 8 Mile Rock. And then I saw the garbage on the road. I go like, no, this don't make no sense, Lord. Make it make sense, Lord. It makes no sense. And I ride up east a couple of years ago. Yeah, out east where I run. So run to the bridge. Garbage. Make no sense. You think that the Freeport area is the clean area. No. Go into the neighborhoods. What? Why? I have to ask the Bahamian people why. I gotta stop there and say why. Why? If you have a sanitation service that works, that gets paid, that has the contract, but you go through your neighborhood and the garbage still ain't pick up. I only picking on this one little thing because it's 2026. And you can say, I live in this neighborhood. So why my neighbor isn't cleaning up their garbage? Why is the garbage in my neighborhood? Where's the community breakdown? I saw a reporter reporting one time. I nearly felt shame. I just wanted to go and hide. I wanted to go hide under the coconut tree because he was reporting where there was so much garbage, talking about a murder. We live in the Bahamas, and if a government cannot satisfy and take care of its environment, as small as this is, what y'all voting for them for, young people? Why? Y'all think it can get done. It can get done when you step up with the COI. Simple as the young people, only you, please share this. Go online, share our website, participate by putting your name there. Go on the modules, become a member, but also keep in mind that you could be the next city government panel. No, we're not. It's not just going to go to Nassau. No, that's not what I said. You will be the persons in your community doing the job that you paid the politicians for, and they have not accomplished it. Simple matters. That's what I'm saying. If I'm telling you, if a government cannot deal with the garbage on the side of the road, what y'all need them for? So I want y'all to go and join Mr. Aram Lewis at his fun event for the children, the annual skating event in Freeport. Please call that number 478-4938. Get your kids there, have some fun, enjoy it, socialize with each other. It's a great event. Please enjoy it. So some of the topics I had covered with regards to Vision 2030's topic, I covered in a very short time. It was, I think I started sometime in November 5th, where I started with, I covered the COI's immigration solution, which will be dealt with humanely, which the governments have failed to address it. We see all sorts of angles they're coming at, but we're not worrying about that, okay? Now listen, the COI did not create the immigration muck. That's what I'm gonna call it. It wasn't us. No. But if you go on our website, you'll see where we will deal with it humanely. But we're asking persons to respect our laws. There is an amnesty period to do what's right. We have the solutions on our website. But one of our biggest concern with the immigration issue is the fact we need better security. That's a real issue. I don't see the government under none of the political parties has put a curve in crime, honestly. Yeah, I've seen a lot of drug busts in 2024, 2025, yeah. But we have too many young men, which are important to our country, who is disenfranchised and need a better environment because it's not a very good environment right now. Okay, so security would be one of our most foremost concerns, because that's what we want to deal with first under the Coalition of Independent Solutions for Immigration Matters. Listen, if you are afraid of something, the only reason people are afraid when you come to bring laws to settle the affairs of the Bahamas, because they're doing something that's not right. That's the only reason you have to be afraid. And that ain't our problem. We about our laws in our country. So we want to deal with that effectively, all right? Whilst the COI was busy dealing with the by-election, and remember now we had 2 by-elections, where I was busily doing these platforms because I needed the attention to be brought to more of the solution and the way forward. And so we want to commend the COI for its diligent work and taking part in both by-elections. All right? Now, no third party in the history of third parties, in the history actually of Bahamian politics, have been involved with 2 by-elections. Now, maybe I'll have to Google that to make sure, but as far as I'm concerned, the COI has done this, have actively participated in 2 by-elections. Then again, in no given history that I knew, and I'll have to Google it, right? We had 2 actually by-election within a 5-year terms. No? Wow. One of the other topics I spoke to with regards to the Coalition of Independence's plan for a better Bahamas under the Vision 2030 was food security. I spoke to this. This is a very big and important topic on our mandate for a healthier Bahamas. Okay, because I think recently I just saw some about a potato on a local bought a potato from a local store, and the potato was mushy soft and it was weird. The potato actually looked like it was artificial, and he could have, when he squeezed the potato, water started coming out of it. Go like, we've never seen a potato grown like that. Now there are a lot of advocacies against food that is delivered to our country, has not been addressed by either Peter nor Paul. And that is a classic example why we need to produce our own foods. But because health is important, okay? You don't want to be eating certain things and they're not grown properly. I mean, any sensible person would want to make sure they don't end up in the Ryan Memorial Hospital. And that's another issue. So those are one of the topics I spoke to with regards to food production, because America is at war at this time. Yeah, and they've been at war all during the Biden administration, and Trump inherited. We gotta be about being proactively thinking about food security. I don't see any government addressing the failure of BAMSI. But I'm going to talk more about that, what the COI will be doing with regards to legislation. All of this will be covered. Here is another topic that I spoke about in a short period of less than a month and a week with regards to the natural resources. Again, all this information has been reinforced by Mr. Bain last Sunday, explaining to you of all our natural resources that we have. The salt industry in the Bahamas has been hijacked, and we could have had a whole industry. You wouldn't have to worry about jobs in construction company if you had a government who would have secured this $1 trillion industry, which is salt, Y'all didn't know that. Oh, y'all thought it was this construction working. Oh, no. This is one of the natural resources that, along with the aragonite, along also with the sand, all of these are topics in which Mr. Bain is prepared to renegotiate for the best interest of its Bahamian diaspora, because contracts he has showed you that were signed was from a very, very weak position. Like I said, he showed us contracts where, we were signed in the 60s. We're a whole different generation from the 60s, please. And we need a leader who represent our country from strength rather than give away. We need a better leaders to represent us so we don't have this free fall in our society where the young men are so destitute they will do whatever it takes to maintain food or clothes on their back or protecting their family, and that's not right. This is why I'm saying that governments have failed our younger people. So our natural resources are valuable. We want to operate from a position with a leader, from a position of strength rather than weakness. We want to, under the Coalition of Independence, they will review all of those contracts, but we're not going to say we're going to yank the contract from these people. See, these deals have already been done. But any new deals coming in, the COI will make sure that it's the Bahamians' interests put first. And I don't see why you would want any other leaders actually operating from a strength of weakness. We've had that for 53 years, okay? Please help me share this information. Then I spoke about another topic that's very concerning to all Bahamians, because good governance is supposed to represent your country rather than representing your political party and then divide the people. And when the people gets divided, they don't want to talk to each other. This is not unity. You've been Bahamians. You know politics have killed so many good ideas because they divide you on what the real concerns are. I mean, literally killed people in politics. Juan Miller just died, you know. Miss Obi Wishcombe died, you know. He's a good man, good Bahamian man. A great vision for West End. He probably had good vision for the natural resources when he passed it in the House of Assembly and presented it at the table. These were good Bahamian men that died looking at a vision for his country. As a matter of fact, I think it was Obi Wishcombe who commended Mr. Bain. He said he wished he had to do what he was doing. If you look at the age difference between Mr. Wishcombe and Mr. Lincoln Bain, there's like a 25-year, 30-year age difference. A new generation Bahamian. But they both died. And certain things in their selective islands were not accomplished. We have to look at these things from a bigger point of view. So good governance, the COI covers in its mandate for the new government coming in 2026, which is this year. We need integrity. No one should feel inferior on talking to a leader of one's country, especially if you have the best interests of your country over your political party. No one. I don't care who this person is. I don't care how educated they are or uneducated they are. They should be respected. But nope. We have career politicians who feel, oh, you're going to have to bow. No, I'm going to have to give you something for something. Or you have to do something for something. Well, that's not integrity, Bahamians. That's not the standard in which we want to continue in our country. I should be able to knock on the door of the Prime Minister, which I've been knocking on the door for the last, since he's been in, and the time before that one, and the time before that one, and that one. That's 25 years. And none of them had the respect to listen to what I had to say. Put it in a letter, say it on Facebook, protest on it. No. They don't respect us to think that we could think. So, we need governance with integrity that has to come back. It's lacking We need Bahamians who are now stepping up to the plate. Call a spade a spade. We don't have time to mess around because that one is the leader. He's right by all costs and he can't do no wrong. Because you all signed a contract? Wow. This is where we came to. This is why the pendant era came about. So you could suffer like this? Really? It's only about a house and a car? That's it? You're not thinking about the generation? You're not looking at the children in school, the children who's at the college, the children who've been to college the last 15 years. You're not looking at none of that? It's just about your political party. And the chairman can say anything you want, act irresponsible in an undignified morality way, and that's okay? No, we need better standards. So good governance was something that I spoke to under the COI's Coalition of Independence website, right? And then I spoke to about my favorite. I don't know how this got my favorite, but let me tell you, the more I read Vision 30 plan, the more I just want to sit in a cubby hole and just keep reading and reading and reading. I am so inspired. I am so very inspired with what I'm seeing compared to what we actually have. And it's very hard to be inspired by politics. But you're gonna have to pick up your bed, pick up your pants, and make this move this time. I'm inspired. Okay, these are not little topics. These are like detail. I mean, I read something where it was part phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and I go like, oh, wow. I'm not talking about a tiny little booklet with less words than your Constitution of the Bahamas. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the tricks that they play on y'all when they try to get y'all to vote them in. I think they still print their booklets because they're so behind the 10 ball. We put ours in automatic pages. You could swipe. You could widen it so it can get bigger so if you can't see it, and we could make it smaller. Wow. They still giving y'all booklets. And then they get y'all so emotional, y'all don't even read the 4-page booklet. And then we wait for them because we figure they are mature, political maturity. They are experienced politicians. And then we get the same slap in the face entertainment, garbage talk in the House of Assembly, and they wear suits. And go like, are they kidding? So wait now, if they fighting each other, who represent my voice? Oh, that's what I wonder about certain things. You'll help me share this. So those were the 4 modules that I spoke to so far since November 5th to 2023, the 2nd of January. And we have over 100 modules because we got a gamut of issues and solutions. We are talking about the solutions now. Mr. Bain have already exposed the issues. If you want to stay with VAT money killing you, go ahead then. Keep voting. If you want, wait for 10 hours in office maybe to see one candidate who can't even give you the answer you want, and your grandchild could give you the answer, and you're still waiting for them to help you solve it. This is a new year. If a government really care about you, right? Let me tell you something. Let me just start with something simple again. All them crack holes in the road that I see riding around, what I see when I was riding around, for Christmas, forget the turkey. You want them holes should have been fixed. Don't tell me there's a $500,000 million contract to fix the road and Grand Bahama be coming for y'all. So you're trying to say 4 years, 53 years later between all of y'all. You see why Mr. Bain is be saying F&M and PLP is a problem? But y'all couldn't fix the road for Christmas. But we Junkanoo. I mean, okay, Junkanoo is great. Leaving Junkanoo. And then now it's 2026. That hole is still in that road. I just needed to make some sense. So those were the three modules that I spoke about. So I'm going to continue on with land now because like I say, I ain't going to be long, I ain't going to be short. The land laws have expanded. Do you know you have 5 land laws? Yeah, you just got 2 new ones late 2025. I think one is called adjudication and the other one is called registered. Yeah. Then you have immovable, which the COI will want to convert back where the Bahamians guaranteed. Then you have one called the ITP, some Persons International something. I can never remember the acronyms. And then you have the Quieting Act. Please tell me, people who are listening, why would the government have 5 whole different laws for land? And they just announced 2 late 2025. If a government can help you solve your problems locally, tell me what they're doing. I need to know. And you need to be informed. And you need to be telling your family. Listen, we work with a bunch of, you know what, nice it. Trying to be nice this year. So, between the FNM and the PLP, right? Let me tell you how much they care for y'all on your crown land. These are facts. To me, it looks like they could do a Disney deal for Bob. They could do a cruise line deal and you can come in, some cruise thing, Bob. They could go to the books and increase the yachting fees. Bob. What else? Any investor come over, they bend over backwards. Okay. I know they should sell a lot of property for just $2 million prime property, but when last one got sold for egg manufacturing for $18 million, boy, I would love to know, and Andres, I would love to know who got that one. But it's almost like everybody and Disney World, Disney World, can get your prime property, in Eleuthera. And you know I'm mad because my family from Eleuthera too. They can get your crown land property. No, okay, it's not your crown land property, but can get your prime property. Because you are not entitled to no prime property on the ocean or on a cliff looking at the ocean. No, you're not entitled to that. No, stop it. You're not entitled to it. You ain't good enough. And you want to say, Jillian, where you going with this? Why are you saying this? So I Googled how much land of crown land that belonged to you was allotted to you. I don't know what year this was. Forgive me, but I could tell you how much crown land was listed. I could tell you that off the top of my head. But what applications were approved by the government when you Bahamians here, the ones who leave to come back home 10 years ago, the ones who participated in the Olympics, I can tell you how much applications were approved under the PLP. They love you all. 356 applications. But the FNM, the PLP won't fight about it. They won't put this like they fight for crime. Oh, y'all didn't solve crime. Oh, y'all didn't solve crimes. They're doing the same thing with the land. The PLP allotted 356 applications. Listen here, I enjoy this analysis as long as I've had breath in my voice. Yeah, my voice, not my being, my voice. As long as I have breath. They fighting with the FNM, who've only allotted y'all 78 application to approve Crown land. And you say, oh, but you know something, the PLP did more than the F&M. Yeah. Excuse me. Hold up. Are we living in the 60s? Do you all understand how much Crown land you actually have? Do you all know it was allotted for you, the Bahamians, the indigenous Bahamians? Yeah, I can say the indigenous Bahamians. You all do know that, right? It's there for you. The government was only there to manage. But it's apparent they're managing you all right out of your own land. So, we recently had Junkanoo, and I'm going to draw this illustration. One family, one. If you count all of the persons in one family or the Saxons, there's about 400. So I just want you to think about this. They were all young people, over 18. They are entitled to their land. I wonder what they get as a prize money for Junkanoo. It sure ain't land. It sure ain't what they was entitled to. I wonder how much money for that performance, which was a beautiful performance. It was the most magnificent performance under the Junkanoo. I wonder what y'all got for prize money. Prizes. If the government tell y'all by next week, y'all can get ground land, but y'all gonna vote for me first. If the government was to say that, they were gonna this is how they say it. We're gonna release it by September of 2026. So you know what I mean, right? You gotta vote for them. I'm trying to add this up because I really want y'all to understand what I am actually saying here. Anyway, if you add up 356 plus 78 between the F&M and the PLP, it's really under 500. That's how much property that was allotted under two of them. But from 1990 to 2000, the survey says you had either 220 million to 3.4 million acres of property. On this alone, you all need to send them to political jail and vote them out. Because they love y'all. They're showing y'all they love y'all. And this is where we are. This is very, very, very disturbing. But let us continue on and talk about the land. So we're going to talk a little bit about 3.3. This is where we're at. I think I'm at page 20, and we have about 45 pages. And believe me, this may be boring to you because you just came out of Christmas. It's the most exciting Christmas in your whole entire Christmas life. And here she come talking about land. Well, I never stop talking about it. It's part of the module. It's part of the talking plan. You just came out of Christmas. Even if you were to get a contract from the government, even if you were promised to be on a board in the government, you're still lacking so much more than just receiving a fridge, a turkey, and a bed, and a coupon. Yeah. In order to have productive citizen in its society, you need to have a balance. We don't have a balance at this very time. The reason we don't have a balance is because we don't have supportive legislation to make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. I talk about my generation, the generation after me, the generation before me. I'm talking the generation to come and the generation who can't think right now. The COI will update and enforce its laws, and the laws, and that's the immovable, is written in their mandate. Okay? What is the law? The Planning and Subdivision Act is something that needs to be dealt with. And the Environmental Planning and the Protection Act to back up these plans. They're outdated. They need to be revisited. Yeah, you don't look at the fine print, but the COI do. They watch the fine print. What else they want to do? They want to strengthen the Department of Physical Planning. Need I remind us all? I don't know who allotted Bamsi the property to do whatever for Bamsi. I don't know. I don't know. You know, that's back in the Stone Ages, man. I don't know. I don't know who's responsible for it, but obviously, an expansion for that land alone hasn't developed any or yield no real fruits for the labor, okay? And that's what I'm gonna say on that one. So it ain't working. It ain't working. Bahamians need, everything needs to be reviewed. It's that time. This is where we are. So the 3.3, the eco-friendly infrastructure and the green development. I know you've heard, oh, everybody talking about the green and the blue and the this and the that. You know something? Many societies are crashing because the fast food industry is not green nor blue. It's called economic empowerment. Bring the fast food, you eat it, you get sick, you die, and life goes on. You get cheap food. Yeah, you maintain no real healthy stability in your own body. The government shouldn't have to be responsible for this. But anyway, this is where we are. The green development. We need to be better models first and to recoup what we have lost with regards to the green development. It's all about growing food, okay? We were supposed to be the industries within the Bahamas on different islands who were actually growing certain foods, crops, vegetables, fruits, you name it. But got that had gotten sidetracked because maybe they saw the money and they say, well, let's just let's just continue the supermarket chains. Okay, and this is where we are. So renewable energy is so important. I remember when they was talking about recycling this and recycling that, I get so confused. I said, like, two garbage bin, one for paper, one for can. I used to think that 20 years ago too. But here I am now saying, wow, what if we had done that? What if we had all of the fast food chains actually helping in this? Because it's their garbage on the road, it's their sodas, it's their Kentucky, it's their Burger King, this garbage, diapers, whatever. I see all kind of things on the side of the road. What if they came to be the force to help with the recycling? Recycling isn't a tiny business, it's a huge business. This is not new. The COI is proposing for us to be conscious of our environment. The government talk about climate change and what's the other one? Climate change and something. But we don't see it. The COI saying to us, right? Let us strengthen. Let me just say that again. Strengthen the physical planning because what we have now isn't working. 3.3, the eco-friendly infrastructure and the green development. We need to be a better model. We, in the Bahamas, we could do this. Don't worry about nothing, nobody else. We could be it and we can recapture what's broken because they failed to have renewable energy. No, they failed. They failed us about this. They're not health conscious. Okay? None of them are because they have not pushed any of this. This is a green tech. Now, Mr. Bain is a great supporter for advancement. He is in prime position because he's a techie person. He's a forward thinker. We have many forward thinkers, but we just don't have them in politics right now. They just don't see the fine print. They don't see the long term. They don't see the vision. They only see about getting their family in power and then everything goes haywire and nobody can think. Mr. Bain is the prime person for this, okay? Waste management and sanitation. Need I say any more, people? Waste management and sanitation. Please let us not to forget how long, and I lived in Nassau. I can only speak to what I have experienced. when I suffered, when my lungs shut down. We're talking about a healthy person. Me, working in the gym, living on fire trail. So you all need to know I'm talking from a perspective of what I inhaled. The scent was so unbearable. Schools in this area, I remember a certain school had to close down its school and how bad it got. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say, right? My lungs locked down. The fitness person, never drinking, nobody, nothing exercising, healthy as a horse. I had to go to the doctor to get a shot that I don't know. It's Dr. Fox, okay? It's good man. Good doctor. And my lungs opened back up. At the time, the sanitation department or the dumps, we call it the dumpster or whatever we call it in Nassau. Remember Nassauians? I believe the wind probably blew them to the next island next to Nassau. The entire island. If I live in Fire Trail, out east could smell it. This is what we had to endure for years. I'm a very healthy person, and literally my lungs locked. It wasn't for the fact that I studied respiratory system and sat up that night until I could make it through the next day. My breath would have been cut off. This is what environmental impact is supposed to help you to be in a healthy environment. Nassau, you endure that for years whilst they sit in the House of Assembly talking smack. I don't want us to forget these things and how Bahamians had suffered because we didn't have a proper waste management and sanitation service that made sense. The COI have a plan for that. It's there in more details on our website. We must allow the necessary population, whilst the Davis administration just talk, but climate change and carbon credit and going to the UN and talking about the climate this and the climate that. Hurricane needed to come and just wash some things away, which it did. Waste management and sanitation honestly has been disastrous in our country, and there's too much garbage along the streets everywhere in the Bahamas, even in some exclusive areas. I look through the bush and I go like, how could our people allow one's country to fall so low? I don't get it. It's like you go to Disney World, and Disney World cleaning up 24/7, cleaning up. And in the Bahamas, where this is a paradise of an island, we still have this problem. And they want y'all to give them another chance to do what? That you couldn't have done in the last 4 years like that. Finally, on our site, under 3.3, for land preservation and taking care of the environment under the Coalition of Independence. A new land development must be including proper waste and usage management plan to avoid this pollution that we've been suffering, that I don't care what nobody say, has not been brought to any conclusion or curve. Rather than the proliferation of individual septic tanks. And this is important because septic tanks been developed from the 60s, okay? Come on, man. Come on. Every time you get a septic tank, it probably have a leak in it. I don't even know if it's in a tank. That get into the water table. You think you got nice, healthy water. You're drinking. Anyway, this is important, okay? Rather than the prolific of individual septic tanks. And I know, how did I get on from the land preservation and environmental? Because this all have an environmental impact. Are you hearing them discuss this in the House of Assembly? It's 2026. Has this been discussed? Why so many people in the Bahamas are dying from things that could have been corrected? They're not talking about things like this, but the COI is that the tanks can be contaminated under the water, but the COI will consider cluster and community sanitation. For more information, you'll read it. It's all there. We have people in place who are professionals, who are educated, who are ready. At the drop of the hat, it's going to take some work. It's going to take some work. And it's going to take each community to be involved in bringing the standards a bit higher. We don't live in the 60s, okay? So the COI will consider cluster and communication sanitation solution for the new settlements, or a modern composting toilets. I was interested in know what that is myself. I should have read some more, but anyway. And gray water, recycling in ritual settings. Recycling, reforming. Recycling, reforming. Our country has come to a pivotal point where it is needed badly, not just in the sceptic time, but also in the House of Assembly. We need better representative. We need to recycle them out of that house. Solid waste recycling will be encouraged, and many before now have failed to make this happen, or designated areas on each island for recycling centers. That means more and more jobs. There's nothing wrong with it. We just need to upgrade it, okay? And composting of farm waste, that's important because all that can be recycled, and that go right back into the ground to grow food properly. The ground now need to be protected. We need to keep our land and our water clean. This is empowerment, and sustainable health is foremost important. Too long I see too many young people just dying from heart failure, just dying. I mean, literally. It's frustrating because whereas they're taking the conversation to many unimportant, dumb talks, they think we all are going to follow that garbage. But these are things that you need to consider. And these are the things that the COI will be bringing forward. Yes, it's going to take a lot of work, but this is why the COI is saying that Bahamians have to be now in charge of city governments. Because honestly, every island suffers from the same thing. So please make it make sense. This old module, you send everything to Nassau, and Nassau can solve it. Your candidate can solve it, but he don't even live in your community no more. And here we are. Same old thing, just a different generation. Now, you want to change this? You got to step up. This ain't the century to say you want to recycle old politicians. Yeah, we want to recycle them with concerned Bahamians who live in their own neighborhood, and it doesn't matter. We have a diaspora of Bahamians who are qualified, who are passionate, who lived in their community and know the ills. And we also know the ills are like in all different islands. All we can do is just flush it out for right now. Shine some light on it. Get the communities together. That you don't working this for the FNM, and you're just saying this for the PLP. You're saying, listen here, this is for my country. We're saying it for that flag in the back there. All these colors I'm wearing now represent our country. Not no FNM and PLP. Not their agenda. Not their contracts they want to conclude. No, that's not what we're representing. We're representing us, the Bahamians. So, let me end here because my phone is actually going to be out of power. I want to just end here and tell you about the candidates. I'm going to start with Grand Bahama first. Again, Mr. Aram Lewis is the candidate that's actually in the House of Assembly under the COI, and he's a representative of us. He will be having his annual children's skating Christmas event. It will be held in Freeport. If you're interested in being a part of it and you are in Freeport, call 478-4938, whereas you can reserve because, you want to do things orderly. So that's Mr. Aaron Lewis. He is the candidate for Central. Then we have the candidate for Out East. That's Mr. Edward Dexter. He is the Out East candidate in Grand Bahama. Then we have Mr. Daniel Mitchell. He is the candidate for Pine Ridge. Then we have Mr. Roberts. Mr. Roberts is the candidate for Marco City. And then we have Miss Tony Stubbs. She's the candidate for West End and Biboney. Those are our Bahamian candidates who are vying to be the next government in the Bahamas under the Coalition of Independence on the island of Grand Bahama. So I'm going to go in backwards here because we had some candidates that was just ratified at St. Barnabas. It was Mr. McKinney, V. McKinney. And let's pay close attention to him because he's a tech person. Then we had another candidate, Dr. Jermaine Higgs. He is in Mackay. That's in South Beach. Sorry, Mackay. Yeah, Dr. McKinney. Then we have another gentleman that was recently ratified. I think it's Mr. Stephen McQueen. He's in Nassau Village, along with Mr. Bobby Brown. That's in Fox Hill. And then we have Mr. Antonio Bain. He's in Baines and Grandstown. Need a lot of help. The town need a lot of cleaning, and the town need a lot of revamping. And then we have Miss Charmaine Adderley. Yes, she is in the Golden Gates constituency. We have Miss Crystal Williams, one of our younger candidates. She'll be hosting a town meeting in 2023. I don't have those dates on me, so when I come back on again, I will talk further to that. Miss Crystal Williams, she's in Abaco, along with Mr. Kai. Everybody know Mr. Kai Mills, Abaco again. Then we have Mr. Christian Hasty. He is in Eleuthera. We also have another young gentleman, Mr. Brian Smith. He is in Exoma. We have Mr. Carlton Clare. He is in South Andres in the Mangrove. We have Miss Yvette Prince. He's in Numacra. This is in Nassau. Mr. Jamal Woodside. He is actually in Centerville in Nassau. Okay, let's go on here. I'm reading backwards, so bear with me. Okay, just hope I don't miss out anybody. Oh, we have Miss Sherera Pratt. She's in Long Island. That's a wonderful place to win. That's a beautiful, beautiful island. Then we have Mr. Kirk Farrington. He's in the South Shores. Yes, and Miss Donna Dorset Major. She's in Elizabeth. And then we have Mr. Trevor Green. He's in Tall Pines, which is in Nassau. Then we have Miss Maria Daxon. She is in Bamboo Town. That's in Nassau. We have Miss Daphne Johnson. She's in Fort Charlotte. Again, Nassau. And then we have, okay, that was fun. And then we have Mr. Graham Weatherford. He's in St. Anne's. And we have Miss Karen Farrington. That's in South Beach. We have Mr. William Knowles. He is in Seabreeze. And we have Mr. Tyrone Green. He is in Marathon. Miss Olivia Griffin. She is in Freetown. I think I said Freetown. Okay, yes, Freetown, correct. We have Natasha Mitchell. She is in North Eleuthera. And then again, we have Haston. He's in South Eleuthera. Christian Haston in South Eleuthera. And then we have Mr. Brian T. Rowe. He was one of the candidates who participated in the by-election in the Golden Isles. And then we have Miss Charlotte Green. She's in Carmichael. Dr. MacGyver, you all know she is the deputy. She is in Kalani. And then we have the leader of the organization, Mr. Lincoln Michael Bean in Pinewood. These are all the candidates who will be vying in the next election, which will be held in another probably 6 months, if not sooner. They are ready and willing to serve, but now they are asking the Bahamians to step up and be a part of the change, whereas you can be a part of the good governance with regards to being your own local government, more than just local government. We ain't talking about the local government that you see modeled now. We talking some completely different way. We bring communities together because each community, honestly, suffer from the same issues, okay? So we just need y'all to actively be involved. We also want you to be actively involved with membership. It's important. You can go online to become a member. You can donate anonymously to help. You can be a member. You can go online to be interactively involved with the plan that's there now, and you can still add. There's no limit to what you can add and contribute to, okay? So yeah, and we also have a petition out, and I really want y'all to sign it. I will link the petition to this link so you can have it. So again, I just want to end here and ask you to participate tomorrow, Saturday. Mr. Aaron Lewis will be having his annual Skating Christmas celebration, and there is a number you can call and confirm you will be coming over to participate so they can have an idea who will be coming out, okay? All right, so that's it for me. Thank you for sharing. I truly appreciate it, but I hope you were more well-informed rather than just being entertained by garbage juice, because this is 2026 and we don't have time for foolishness. We are serious about our country. We want to see serious people negotiate on behalf of the Bahamians, and the Bahamians want to be put first, and this is what they're calling for. Okay, this country belongs to the Bahamian people, not to the politicians. All right then, thank you so much for joining me. Take care.